should be live now. As the dogs start barking in the background. Yep. It says waiting on my screen still. Is it still good?
We're good.
Oh, we're good. Okay. Well, excellent. Welcome to another edition of the 4GwQPodcast. This is one of your hostess with the mostest, Inferno 217, coming back at you for another episode. Not making his 171st straight appearance. That would be, instead, the sexy man down in the left corner, ZP Assassin. What's going on, bud?
Hi.
We also got Italian Clowns with us this evening. What's going on, Clowns?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
And our fourth seat is vacant, but that's not going to be for much longer. When we have news about that, we'll make an announcement. But look out for... I think we're going to do some things after a few of the conferences for E3, by the way. So look out for a couple people to join us for each one of those individually. So we'll get some stuff rolling, get some opinions going. So look out for tweets on that. We'll let you know who's going to be joining us for those specific podcast special episodes, I guess. So that'll be this upcoming weekend, since sad face, I am not going to E3 this year, unfortunately. But yeah, so this episode is essentially going to be an E3 predictions and wishes episode. So we'll get into a lot of that during this fine seventh day of the 6th month of the 2018 year of our Lord Jesus Christ, or however you follow. So yeah, we'll get into that. Also, Crackdown 3, I guess, officially now delayed. Initially, it was speculation, but first we thought it was canceled last week. Then it was speculation that it was delayed. Then it was officially delayed. So we'll get into that, and then of course we'll talk about Assassin's favorite topic of the week, which is Destiny 2 DLC, bringing back some of the glorious things that he knew and loved back in the Destiny 1 era. So it looks like we're returning to some of that nonsense. We'll get into that in a bit. But
Hello, Inferno. You know, during Party Chat, Assassin said Destiny 2 is bringing sexy back.
I don't think I've said that ever.
Well, I'm going to think that you said it because it sounds like something you may say. So, anyway, all right. So before we get started, just want to obviously give a nice shout out to the Inner Circle Network. We are one of their affiliates. There are a few other affiliate podcasts that are excellent. Definitely go check them out. Iron Lords Podcast, love those guys. Basement Radio Arcade Podcast, we've been on there a few times. Good show. Original Next Level Gaming Podcast, that one's a good one. I think they may be changing some stuff up there. They always change their background. You know, I know Mike Mullis over there, great guy. He's been switching up things left and right, trying to perfect that thing, and he's done a good job. So we're one of those network affiliates. So definitely look at that, look at all that goodness. Watch those podcasts because those are pretty good ones. And Clowns has been writing over there. I know recently he hasn't put anything up because of health, but go check out some of Clowns' recent writings over there on the Inner Circle Network podcast. Not podcast, but the Inner Network Circle website. They have their own podcast too. They have like 3 podcasts, something like that, which pretty good. We had Anchorman on here. He runs one of those.
The multiverse, yeah. So that's what's going on in our lives. Going on in the lives of the interwebs, and Twitter has been going crazy about this one. Assassin says, "Do we really have to talk about this?" In our private chat, I said, I gave kind of the lowdown what I thought we should talk about. Assassin's like, "Are we really gonna mention this thing again?" But this was a tweet from yesterday. It's recently been confirmed. Microsoft has confirmed that February 2019 is the new launch window for Crackdown 3. Not this winter as it had initially been delayed to, but Assassin, I'll go to you first since you didn't want to talk about it. You probably want to get your words out quickly and be over this damn thing. So what do you have to say about this?
I mean, it's about time, this news is out. Like, we already knew it was going to be delayed. I mean, next year it will be probably canceled, or the year after that if it gets delayed, so it'll be canceled. So, I mean, writing's on the wall, so.
Wow. Assassin's feeling very pessimistic about this one coming out. Clowns, do you agree with him? You think this one's gonna eventually be shelved, or what do you think? Is he here? Oh, he muted. All right. Bad time to go to him. But yeah, so let me give my thoughts really quick about this. I don't think it's going to be necessarily shelved, but I think what we knew of Crackdown 3 is not going to be what it becomes. I think we've seen a decent amount. Well, I've seen a good amount at E3. We were able to play kind of like a score attack mode where it was a free roam kind of, taking down baddies at your own pace, trying to beat each other's scores. There was a little bit of a leaderboard going on at E3, some prizes that could be won. And I think that's going to, that what we saw there is going to be really different from what comes to the real game. Because obviously what they've got right now is not working out, because they wouldn't delay this thing. We heard about this thing, 2014, 2015. And now, it's going to be 5 years later by the time that the game comes out. And, it's gone through some iterations of advertising. Like at first they were all about that cloud compute, right? They were talking about how cloud compute was going to, take the destruction to the next level. And then they were all about, the flashy kind of story driven trailer that they had last year at the E3 presser. So they're kind of all over the place with their marketing. And I just think that, Assassin, you're kind of right, because I think that what we know about Crackdown should go out in the wash. But if they're already delaying this thing and then they cancel it, I think it's gonna be a really bad look. You know what I mean? Like, why not just cancel it right from the get go?
Well, if they're gonna keep this project, they should put it in game preview. I mean, give gamers a chance to try it. Pay for it if they want to. And then, give feedback. So that's the only way the game's going to be any good.
Yeah.
At this point. I mean,
in Trump's voice. Good. Wrong.
Wow.
Assassin. Wrong. And I'll tell you why. Everybody on the internet's going to tell you that nobody uses game preview.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a load of shit. I mean, look at PUBG game preview. Sold a bunch of millions of copies.
Yeah, I can't think of a way. I can't think of a game that game preview didn't work out for. Like, even like We Happy Few, which started out with a ton of steam, kind of lost a little bit, and then completely changed over the course of game preview. Even that game, where I think that's like the poster child of games that didn't do, quote unquote, didn't do well in game preview. I think everything else has really done well in game preview. I think.
Isn't the Darwin project not doing so great? Because I know there was news that was going free to play.
Yeah, so I think it went free to play on all platforms. Yeah, so Darwin project was what, like $15 initially, and it was doing like a lot better on Steam than it was doing on Xbox. And I think on Steam, like they weren't. The people were buying it, they were playing it, but then you look at Fortnite as the competition, and obviously it's hard to compete, fewer players, the $15 barrier to entry. Now PUBG like had that established level on PC, and when it came to Xbox, obviously a lot of people were willing to pay $30 for it. But you know what? I think you're right. I think that probably is the poster child for a game that did all right in game preview, and it was kind of forced to go free to play. Whether or not that has to do with game preview or not, I don't know. But it definitely, didn't do well enough to encourage people to buy it. So yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. But like, I can't think of anything else that really did bad. Even like Ark, right? Like Ark has improved so much. People are loving Ark. Yeah, maybe it's cooled off a bit, but look at that game compared to when it came out.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I feel like Microsoft would rather just delay this thing than put one of its biggest AAAs in game preview. Like, you notice Microsoft doesn't put any major AAA games in game preview. Like, that's kind of like a reserved thing for like indies and AA publishers, if you will. It's like compulsion games.
I get that.
Yeah, go ahead.
But like a game that's like been delayed year after year after year, like give the fans some type of hope, because the track record of Scalebound and the Fable game being canceled, like you delay it this year, then you delay it next year, and people are gonna think, oh, it's gonna be canceled. Taking this so long to come out.
Yeah, let us know in the chat and in the comments if you're watching this after we're live. Let us know. Do you think Microsoft should start putting some of these games in game preview in order to just get them out there, lower barrier to entry, but getting them out there a little buggy, rather than delaying, or just releasing them as full release buggy so that we can have some sort of an impact on the development? Or do you think that Microsoft is too high for that AAAs and first party studios shouldn't do something like that? But let us know in the chat, and we'll get to that. But other than that, I think we're gonna move off this because I don't want to beat a dead horse on this, and Assassin doesn't want to talk about it a ton because there's a lot we can talk about in this podcast. But essentially, Crackdown 3 delayed as expected. I think a lot of people did expect it, but I don't think a lot of people expected, February 2019. But a few people I know, Randall Thor 19, great friend of the show, good guy. I think he nailed this one right in the head. So so Crackdown 3 delayed. UK Daz on that question that we just asked says yes, they definitely should. Definitely should do some game preview for first party things, first party games. AAAs, that's the thing. Like, do AAAs just see it as a sign that they have a bad product, or they don't want people to see what the product is leading up to full release? Like, I don't understand why they don't.
Yeah.
Siberia says, "Oh, go ahead, Clowns. Go ahead."
I just think that with Crackdown 3, they probably had a lot of problems behind the scenes. Maybe, they gave a small team a big budget, and the small team couldn't do everything that they promised to do or told Microsoft that they would do. So, maybe because Phil's a big fan of the franchise, I hear. So maybe he said, let's keep pushing it back. Let's get this done, guys. Let's get this done. I have, maybe he has faith in them. So I don't know. I'm just not a fan of Crackdown 3. I know Doc's in it. That's the only reason why I think it's cool. Other than that, the whole Crackdown series, I think, should just go away. I mean, what was cooler than that? The top-down shooter Narc in the arcade was way better than Crackdown.
Nice. Great game. But I agree with you. I would feel bad for Doc if this game got canceled, because he is in the game and we were able to play with him at E3, and that was a cool moment for him, and it would be a cool moment for anyone. But I tend to agree with you. I think this franchise has kind of run its course. I don't think they've, we haven't seen any, at least, innovation in terms of the game. Progressing past what they've kind of done in the past. It's like a new polish, and that's pretty much it. So hopefully, that's what the delay is about, adding some worthwhile stuff and not what people are theorizing. I mean, people with their pitchforks out there on Twitter are saying that the reason they're delaying it is to add games as a service items to it, and microtransactions potentially, and all this other nonsense. But, I think people should just be, holding their horses a little bit. People don't mind games taking 5 years if they're, The Last of Us 2 or GTA 6 or whatnot. But all of a sudden, a game like Crackdown takes 5 years and everyone says that, it's trash. People just got to wait a little bit. Now, if you're like Clowns or like me a little bit, and you're not a fan of the franchise and you think it should go away, I mean, that's kind of like a different opinion. And I think that's a valuable opinion that people shouldn't attack, because, the franchise just, I don't think has the same luster. I just don't think it has the same appeal as it once did. I don't think people are like pre-ordering it.
Down.
Huh?
Said, put that crack down.
Siberia in the YouTube chat says about the game preview question we just asked. I don't mind game preview. Gives you no idea with the. Gives you an idea, maybe, what he meant to say, what the game is going to be. They used to have demos all the time. The game is cheaper. What's the big deal? Yeah, I mean, that's how I feel about it. If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it, There's usually a trial, too. I mean, there's usually like an hour trial on all the game trial game preview games.
Games. PUBG didn't have one.
PUBG didn't have one, yeah. PUBG they probably thought PUBG was too good for that. Eric Haberman in the chat is saying he just owns Crackdown 3. He just needs it. It's coming June 29. What do you say? June 29, 2018. I saw a little bit of that today on Twitter and yesterday. But yeah, I don't think so. Especially after they've already said that it was being delayed. But anyway, now on to some legit, I guess, news that people aren't necessarily didn't necessarily kind of figure was coming down the pipeline. What's up with this Destiny 2 stuff? You got the Forsaken DLC. You've got an annual pass. So you've got a couple of things here that I think surprised a lot of people. I think the biggest surprise to me is that they're bringing back Destiny 1 things. Like, I don't know. I feel like everyone was kind of sick of the Destiny 1 model, and now they're bringing that back. And it's kind of like, okay, is there a contingency out there that wants these random rolls back and all this kind of random loot system that people hated with the bad RNG and everything? We've been talking about this since 2014, and now it's back.
You have to pay for it, Inferno. You get to buy it. So that makes it exciting. You get to waste money and play Destiny 1 all over again.
Yeah, man. Just when people were starting to, just when companies were starting to jump on the bandwagon of not charging a lot for their DLC or not charging, a ton of money for continual content over the years, it seems like year 2 is out for Destiny. And if you want the whole package, what is it, like $70 or $80, something like that?
$60, $80 for like the collectors.
Yeah, anyway, a digital deluxe edition with premium digital content, whatever the hell that means. But so you've got the Forsaken DLC and you've got the annual pass. So before we get to the annual pass thing, which I think is kind of controversial as well, let's get to the Forsaken thing. So the Forsaken thing actually doesn't look too bad. Like, I'm not gonna pay $40 for it, but it actually doesn't look too bad. I looked at a couple of things and I was
that's how they get you. Like, the Taken King didn't look so bad. Destiny 2 didn't look so bad. Destiny 1 didn't look so bad. All that they do very good with their trailers and showing you what you want, but not what it's what it is. So you're like, oh, this looks good. So you spend the $40 or $60, you play it, and it's just like Destiny 1. You beat or 2. I mean, you beat the story, probably most of the stuff in like 6 hours, and then it's just grind. And then that's what you basically paid for, 6 hours of content and then a grind.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's just get out there what the thing is, okay? So it's coming, September 4th or somewhere around there, and $40 just for that. And it's going to be essentially what Assassin just said, right? Probably 6 hours of content. Who knows? But there's going to be a new game mode, which they're not going to let people without the DLC play the game mode. Is that what we're thinking here? Or?
Yeah, pretty much. If you don't, like, between, Destiny 1 and when that DLC, like the day before the DLC comes out, like, you have all the content. But the moment that comes out and they update it, you're not getting any of that. So if they add, like, let's just say they bring the Vault of Glass, Destiny 1 first raid, you can't play that because you don't own the Forsaken DLC.
Right.
So most of, like, anything they add, you won't have access to. You might get access to maybe the gun rolls and stuff like that, just so some people don't get left behind. You don't have like terrible guns because they don't pay $60 or $40.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're gonna get left behind pretty much. You won't be able to do anything. A lot of the playlists are gonna be locked.
Right, just like Destiny 1. I mean, that's the exact same shit that happened in Destiny 1. But I think that's kind of a shame. I think that really, really fragments the fan base. I really do. I think that, I think the model has been shown that the DLC these days should be kind of either free or, supplemented in some way. I don't think it should be a flat out cost like $40. I don't think $40 for what could be a 6 hour, what they call, Western revenge vibe. It says Western revenge vibe built around a major breakout from the prison of elders on the reef. So you're going back to the reef. So you're going back to a Destiny 1 place. And it's, potentially going to be 6-8 hours of stuff for $40. I don't, tough sell, I think.
Yeah, it should have been like 20 because I mean, just the track record of like their DLC, like we said, it's not even that long. Like there's content, but there's not much content.
Mm-hmm.
And with the shady practices that Bungie's been doing with Destiny 2, like there's going to be something, terrible. Like the first DLC, most of the items were microtransactions. They lied, about the XP. I think something happened. I think in the second DLC, the strikes were in the same areas as the story missions, so they didn't like add anything new to those. Like they're always going to have some controversy towards their game, and I think that's going to bring out some more.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? It's sad because like, this could have been, Destiny 1. They talked about, remember how Destiny 1 had a 10-year cycle or whatever? They were going to support that for 10 years.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, let's go to Destiny 2 because Destiny 2 is going to be the divergent. It's going to fix everything people thought was wrong. And now we're just going back to Destiny 1 things. And they're taking king prices for it. And there's going to be a bundle. I'm pretty sure they've already hinted to it in their live stream that there's going to be a bundle that includes everything that's probably going to be cheaper than buying them all separately, and people are going to be pissed, and then that bundle is going to go on sale at Black Friday and people are going to be pissed, and so it's a cycle, man. It's like the exact same thing. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows Bungie or Activision, but I think mostly Bungie is just greedy. They put high prices on the DLC, and then they do the minimum amount of work to put out this DLC, and then they do like DLC, like this annual pass or the expansion pass, where they half-ass the DLC and put 2 hours of content and expect you to be like, oh, praise Bungie.
Right. Yes, I'm reading a little bit into it, and you know what I think was the coolest thing about the announcement is the Gambit mode. Like, I think that's the coolest thing, but I'm not going to buy a $40 DLC to have access to a multiplayer mode. Like, it's just not going to happen.
If anything, keep the multiplayer with the everyone. If you're going to keep like the PvE stuff, like that's fine. Like, because it's it's still separating some people, but you could still play it solo on like multiplayer.
Yeah. Yep. So I take it you guys are not going to buy this Forsaken DLC.
I don't even think anyone should, purchase it. It is just greedy and waste of time and resources. But there'll be people out there. I'm not going to name names, but they probably know who they are when I say it. Where they're like, oh, it's like 33 cents a day, like. That you can't bring that into like every conversation. Like you could say Sea of Thieves is worth it because just trying to get 50 and everything. That's like 33 cents, a day or something. Like that doesn't work.
Where are they getting 33? Where when people are arguing like that?
I don't know. I just I think Clowns is like it's 33 cents a day, or someone said to Clowns or something like.
I made an analogy on Twitter to Mooch because how he always does his car dealership analogy. So I said, Destiny 2, Chevy Nova, and the DLC is like a Lexus parts. So you're taking a Chevy Nova body that you paid for, now you're sticking more expensive parts inside it to make it more complete. And then Mooch broke it down for me, and he's like, and here's why you're wrong, Clowns. It's only 0.22 cents a day if you break it down over so many months.
Yeah, but you're not paying over that many months. Oh, go ahead.
Let's be honest. Even if he was like, oh, you're only paying this amount for, every, for over a few months, you're going to play it for like a week, maybe 2, and then you're done because there's nothing. Right. I've had some arguments on Twitter that, Destiny 2 doesn't have like any content, where like people that I know who double or triple the time I had in Destiny 1, which I had 42 days.
Wow, embarrassing.
Left like not even a month later because there's nothing.
Yep.
Like expect the same thing from the launch of Destiny 2.
Yep. Daz thinks everyone's just going to enter giveaways to play it. Nice. Probably. I don't know who would, unless you're a diehard, I don't know how you're gonna pay this kind of money for a DLC like that. I really don't. Now the annual pass, that's kind of maybe a different story because I need to see what's different. I need to see what they're kind of thinking about with this annual pass because it sounds like it's gonna be like exclusive challenge, exclusive weapons, this is kind of like valuable stuff, so to speak. For a lot of people, that's kind of the game, right? I have what you don't have. I have better stuff than you have, blah, 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 right? So, like, I don't know what pinnacle activities are because I didn't play enough Destiny 2, but it says new pinnacle activities, better in-game challenges, new and returning exotics. Like, this, I think, would be valuable to people who, just want to say, haha, I have more stuff than you. Right? What do you think, Assassin?
Oh. I think that annual pass is just total crap because, gamers these days, if there's not new stuff coming, they're going to leave the game. So you're going to pay $20 for new stuff when, other people are just going to leave the game because they're not going to spend the $20 to get these stuff. Like, give it for free. Give people reasons to come back and play the game. Call of Duty, look at Call of Duty World War II, every month. And then they take 3 weeks off. They have an event. Bring people in. Give them new guns, new armor, just stuff to do. Or you're just, people aren't going to buy your microtransactions so you can, buy burritos every day, Mm-hmm. This pass is a joke.
Yeah. Well, that would definitely be a better way to do it. I think that gets people returning. That's the problem that companies are seeing with games now is that people will play them and then they'll just stop playing them and they don't return and they don't potentially spend more money and blah, blah, blah. And that would be the perfect way to get people to return and spend more money is if you had, stuff like that instead of, something like this where you pay for an annual pass. Now, as far as I understand, you correct me if I'm wrong, but the annual pass doesn't have any missions, right? It's just literally stuff to collect and access to more challenges and stuff like that, right?
I haven't really looked into the annual pass. I know you have a slide with the stuff, but even so, just paying for some challenges, come on, $20 to discover challenges.
But $20 to get access to new weapons.
Yeah, then that goes into the pay to win. If there's anything that is super good in that collection of loot that's dropping, and exotics, it's top right. It's game over for people who don't pay the $20.
I think it is. I think it is pay to win. Yeah, I do. I think it is. Obviously, carrying over these exclusive weapons into PvP, that remains to be seen, of course. But, it's essentially paying for access to, weapons that are probably better. It says new exotics. And people may say, okay, well, these new exotics may have the same stats, but they may be better in one case. As somebody drives by my window, it may be better in one case than another exotic. Say you have 2 exotic hand cannons and you get this new one, it may have better, additional attributes. So it is. I think it is. I think it's pay to win. Dad says paying DLC for extra content will be the same as the base game once complete. They'll stop anyway unless die hard. Yeah, 100%. Apparently, they've assessed the diehards and feel this is a good strategy. I thought this was one of the things that people complain about with Destiny 1, and then it's back. Along with the rolls, the RNG for weapon unlocks, weapon looting and stuff like that, armor looting. I thought that was all stuff people complained about, and now we're going back to that. I just don't get it. What is it? I guess you could say that encourages grinding, to have it like that.
Because when Destiny 2 first came out and you beat the story, you beat all the side stuff, like there was no point in grinding. Like unless you to get the highest light level, there was just no point. Like I've seen a bunch of posts where people are like, we want random gun rolls so we can get that perfect gun or perfect armor, but that's gone. So why would we want to farm something?
Right. People hate it until it was gone, right?
Yeah, and there could be like a conspiracy where they purposely took it out of Destiny 2 at launch just so people would complain, and then to bring it back a year later, so then it forces those people who love Destiny, that especially that grind, to then pay the $40 or $60 or $80 just so they can get that grind that they know and love.
Right. They were so people were so against the grinding and the the overly grinding for not the good rewards, and then they were over the fact that the RNG wasn't good, and then now they saw the other side of that, and now they want it back. Like you say, I think that's a good point. And now you've got Bungie's Eric Osborne says, this is the quote, "We want Forsaken to feel like a game that never ends." Well, isn't that what Destiny is supposed to be? Isn't that what the 10-year plan was? Isn't that what Destiny 2 is supposed to be? So now that's not what it was. So now we're going to bring back old Destiny features that you abandoned for Destiny 2. It's like promising the same thing. Like this is the same thing that was promised back in 2014 that people ended up hating towards the end of that game. They abandoned their 10-year plan, quote unquote, and now they're onto Destiny 2. And now they just rotate right back to that, and they're gonna make money off it. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And then next year they'll have another big DLC. Those people spend $40, $60, or $80. And they'll bring still less content than what not Bungie, Destiny players desire.
Just heard Assassin. He cut out for me.
Oh no, Assassin's just saying that that after this there'll be another season, quote unquote, another year where you'll just have $40, $60, or $80 DLC versions, that there's going to be another year worth of stuff that you're going to spend more money on, just like last Destiny game.
Sarcastic announcement voice. This just in. Destiny 3 is just a rehash of Destiny 2 and a cover change on the disc. Have fun. $40.
Hashtag 10-year plan. The 10-year plan. This is the perfect game to do that, though. Like this, anything that was kind of built to be grindy. I mean, that was the whole point, right? At the beginning, an MMO. It was like an MMO FPS. I mean, it wasn't really MMO, but that's kind of like what it was advertised for, and with the MMO feel of grinding and all that. Vault Boy 101 in the chat says, I think people that were against the grinding were the people that didn't have as much time as everyone else did because they had kids or had jobs. They were not able to do the raids and stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's true. That is half of the argument. That was half of the problem. But the other half of the problem were people that were grinding and wouldn't get that, Galahorn or whatever. And then people would play like 2 hours worth and get it. Like that's the other problem. You get the RNG.
That's exactly what happened to me. We were playing Destiny 1, and I remember like Fire Monkey really wanted to Galahorn, and him and Assassin were talking about it. And I played for like an hour, maybe less, and all of a sudden I get the Galahorn. I was like, oh, this is cool. Okay, this game sucks. I'm over it now.
Yeah. See, they really should really return that kind of Destiny 1 stuff. Like Destiny 2, you come out, you play like a half hour, like, oh, congratulations, you get this participation trophy. 30 minutes later, oh, here's another thing. Go take that. Then 30 minutes later, oh, congratulations, you looked at some grass and take the most overpowered gun in the game.
Right. Yeah, I mean that was a complaint I heard about Destiny 2 from a lot of people. I know a lot of people that you say you had 42 days. I know people that had like years or close to like a year's worth of gameplay or whatever. Who do we know? We had a friend that had like a ridiculous amount of gameplay in that game.
I'm gonna look now.
Wasn't it Assassin's friend who every time he did the raid like screamed about basketball players as he was like he thought he was dunking in Destiny and he turned into like this NBA competition in the middle of the raid? Who was that kid?
I forget his gamer tag. It's been a while.
His name was Chibi or something.
Could
He changed his name to something Sword. Pretty bad in front of. If you've ever played with that kid, it was like, and here we go down the hoop. We got a 3-pointer, everybody. That like nonstop. He wouldn't stop. He just keep going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. They give the stuff cool names too. They're like the first part of the passes is Black Armor, and then the second one is Joker's Wild. Like they give them these cool like, you know, names. You're thinking that you're gonna get new missions and stuff, and the reality is, you know, you're looking at, you know, challenges and these pinnacle activities, which I'm not really sure what those are. New lore to discover. What is that? Like
New card, Grimoire card online.
Grimoire, yeah, Grimoire. Is that what Grimoire is? Yeah, nice.
I'm gonna grind for all those Grimoire things. Oh, they're online.
Yeah.
As a Destiny fan, I like to read into the story, man. There's a story behind it, so I go online and read it. I read it, man.
Yeah. No, that's a turn off for me. I hope it's not that. Then again, I'm probably not gonna buy this, but you know, I would love to see the hate. Good.
So I'm looking.
Time to trade in your copy. You might get the most for it.
There you go.
I'm looking at the Game Hub for Destiny 1, and the person on the top of my list, 2,132 hours.
Okay, hold on. Let's do the math. 2,000. Oh, where's my calculator? There we go. 2,100 and what?
32 hours.
32 hours divided by 24.
That's almost double my time. So
yeah, dude, that's like 88 days. That's like 3 months of solid gameplay.
Yeah, I had, I think Tom's friend Wes had even more than that. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah. So yeah, Wes. I think that's who I was thinking of. Wes. Yeah, I haven't talked to that kid in a while. But yeah, those people had some. Those people had some major hours, and his friend there from, was it Kentucky or I can't remember the guy's name. Good guy though, had a lot of time in that. They always went and played Destiny. So yeah, that's the crowd they're attracting. They're trying to attract back to this game by adding this stuff back, but I think it's gonna blow up in their face, to be honest. But
gonna cheese now. They're gonna cheese the new boss.
Yeah,
remember the cheese the Crota trick.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then you know, for those of you that don't know, Wes is a Chinese American kid, and he always like brags about it. And it was funny. One time I was in a party chat with him, and me and him were doing Destiny 1 because he was helping me on like a strike or something. I can't remember, maybe even a raid.
Yeah.
And he's like, I know how to do this real quick, clowns. Just sit there, give me like 10 minutes and we got this done. I was like, how do you know this? He's like, all my cousins in China, we know this game really well. I'm like, what does that mean? He's like, we know every nook and cranny and every glitch. I was like, oh man. All right, take it away, Wes. Take it away.
That's coming back. That'll definitely be coming back. If this roll thing is how it used to be, that'll definitely be coming back. I know Assassin's excited.
No.
Oh man! All right, that's enough about that. Until we find out more, I guess they're gonna talk about that a little more during E3. I think I don't remember how long the stream was, but the reveal wasn't too in depth. I don't know. Assassin, you say they had more information on the PlayStation YouTube channel?
More into like the not the YouTube channel. It was like when I first saw this, because like I'm taking a break from like Twitter, or at least looking at my Twitter feed, and it was right there on the PlayStation Store as featured. So about the stuff that was coming back or something.
Right.
Some nonsense.
Right. Dude, I really wish like that multiplayer mode I think is so unique. That Gambit mode. They say, I'm reading this right from PC Mag just to summarize it. It says 4v4 hybrid mode, see two teams battling against enemies in separate arenas. So like you're in two separate arenas, you're battling against enemies, and the first one to get to 75, right, allows you to like unleash this like super enemy on the other team. You know, and the last person alive wins kind of the deal. I think that's really cool.
Wait, how big is the, you said 4v4?
4v4, yeah, 4v4.
Oh my god.
Two teams.
I was going the other way. Like,
yeah, right?
People were complaining it was like a 5v5 or whatever, and then they had to make it a 6v6. Now you're bringing it 4v4. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Well, you're not bad. You're not playing against the other opponents. It's like four versus enemies against 4 versus enemies. You know what I mean? It's like PvE. You understand?
Well, yeah, then you can jump in like a portal and kill people. Like,
right after you get like a certain amount of kills before the other team. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of cool, but time will tell. Time will tell if that is cool or not. But I'm sure we'll see more stuff at E3. And speaking of E3, that's coming up. I guess that's coming up, what, like this Sunday or something, huh? I don't know if anyone knew. Does anyone know?
Saturday?
Or Saturday, actually. Yeah, you're right. Saturday is... what is it? This is at like this is really early, like 2 o'clock on a Saturday Eastern time.
E3 is still around.
E3 is still around. We'll get into that in a little bit too. But yeah, E3 is still around, and not going this year unfortunately. But I will be able to watch all the conferences for the first time in a few years. As they're going. So yeah, EA. All right, so let's go in order here. EA is going at 2 p.m. Eastern time. If you are Eastern time people, if you're not, convert that to your local time zone. If you go on Kotaku, they have a nice slide of when all the conferences are in your time zone. So they have it broken down pretty well. But for us Americans, it will be on Saturday. What are you guys looking forward to from EA? You think they're going to have a lot to show? You guys think they're going to impress people, maybe with some stuff we haven't seen yet? Or you think it's pretty much going to be all Anthem all the time?
I think we're going to see a few things. First, we're going to snore through the Madden and the FIFAs. And then they're going to pick it up with, the Battlefield 5s. I bet they're going to do, I think, pretty much what they did with Battlefield 2, where they showed, a match, and then I think we're gonna see a Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 3.
There we go, Assassin.
They've been doing a bunch with Garden Warfare 2 recently.
Yes.
So and then there would be, you see them, the developers on Twitter, like, what would you like to see if we created this? Like, I bet you if not this year, next year we'll see a Garden Warfare 3.
Yes, please, EA, do a Garden Warfare 3. That is definitely on my wish list for EA, alongside a very solid release date for Anthem, alongside an Anthem beta date announcement, alongside an announcement that Anthem is going to be 4K, and probably not 60, but at least 4K on the Xbox One X, hopefully. And I hope to see a lot from that game, which I think we will. And Battlefield 5, I think that, unfortunately the cat was let out of the bag a little early on that, so I don't think that what we see there is going to be too revolutionary, but hope to see some new stuff that we don't know about that's that's incredible. I know they teased earlier on Twitter. I know you're not on Twitter too much, Assassin, but they said get ready to jump out or something like that. Let me go find it really quick. But
yeah, I saw that.
So who knows what that means? Hopefully they talk about that. But Garden Warfare 3, if they have Garden Warfare 3 and they have way more about Anthem, I think it's going to be a win for them. I mean, they're not going to win the whole thing. Don't get me wrong on that. But they're, that's going to be a great conference if they can show what people want about Anthem, and Garden Warfare 3 gets announced and it looks incredible.
I also think we're going to see some on Star Wars Battlefront 2, because the
like what?
The Twitter, the social media guy was, that's doing the EA games, or specifically the Star Wars games, was teasing some for E3. I know we just got news on the Han Solo DLC content coming out on the 12th, but Star Wars will definitely have a place there. Maybe even a teaser of Respawn's Star Wars game, which we probably won't, because they probably just started it. Yeah, well, we'll see. Maybe they can tease something. Who knows?
I mean, look at Nintendo. Nintendo teases shit with like just title screens, like Metroid Prime 4, and everyone goes nuts. So I mean, maybe a little bit of a tease will excite people. Maybe like a year, you know, like 2019. But who knows? Clowns, thoughts on EA? They're first up. So what do you expect to see? What do you think that you're gonna see? Excited for anything?
Maybe we'll see about more higher priced loot crates in Battlefront 2.
Okay, we know that those aren't coming back. They fully removed them, except the daily.
Maybe Disney said to them, "Hey, we need to make some money on this game. It's falling fast. We'll bring back some loot crates." That would be great. I would buy like all of them. Drop like $400 in a month. I think we'll see some Madden stuff, some FIFA stuff. I think Assassin really can't wait for the FIFA stuff.
I think we'll all be sleeping.
And I really think we'll see some PvZ Garden Warfare 3. I don't know if they'll give us an announcement date yet, but I really think that they're trying to work on making this game like esports friendly.
Mm-hmm.
For kids into like esports. So I think that's where they're kind of headed with this game. I could be wrong. It's just a speculation.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I could see that. And I think it would be in their best interest to do it. You know, pull some of the audience that's on Fortnite. You know, it's not like a similar game. You know, that'd be cool if they had PvZ Battle Royale. By the way, I think that'd be fucking ill.
Dude, you know how many people that would take people away from Fortnite.
Yeah, I think that's the name of the game now. I think that's what people should aspire to. These developers should, and publishers. I mean, they're seeing Fortnite dominate right now. They want some of that market share. I think they need to. You know, I don't think every game needs a battle royale, but I think they need something catchy that maybe could be like the next battle royale. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then tie some like Star Wars stuff in there, like since they had the game license. Like they did with like the Mass Effect, they had Mass Effect things in there.
Maybe we'll see some
okay.
alternate skins of like Darth Vader and high base loot boxes that you have to pay for.
Okay, we all know loot boxes are not coming back in an EA game.
Real quick, I just need to let you know that this position that me and Daz are going, it's taking off, man. We got like 7 signatures. We are going somewhere. You can hate it all you want, but we got years and we're going somewhere.
There you go. There's still time.
Dead. If it's not already, like.
There you go. There it is in the chat right there. There's the link for that petition that Clowns just referred to that him and Daz are kind of leading the charge with. But let's see here. Nothing really about EA in the chat. Oh, Daz thinks there'll be a Need for Speed Loot Race edition. He thinks there's going to be Need for Speed with some loot packs. You never know. I think Assassin's right. I think EA's been roasted for not the battle packs, but the microtransactions a little too much at this point. So I'm not sure that they're going to go down that road again, but they could. Who knows? So that's EA. Next up after that is the one everyone's really speculating over, the one that most people think could go either way. It could either be really, really bad or really, really good, and that's Microsoft's, which is the next day, a full day later, 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern. And after EA and after Microsoft, we'll definitely have something on this channel, by the way, so look out for that. And we're hoping to get some awesome guests on to talk about that kind of stuff with us. So look out for announcements for that in our Twitter, 4GwQPodcast, if you're not already following. But what do you guys think about Microsoft? What are they going to pull out? Do you think they're going to do a good job, or do you think it's going to be another clunker?
Well, before we start, just want to make sure we're not going to talk about leaks or anything. I want to stay away from that.
Nope, no leaks. I mean, other than the Crackdown delay, they'll probably mention that.
I think we'll probably see some Halo, in some way, shape, or form. We'll definitely see some, probably Minecraft, like always. We'll definitely see some Sea of Thieves. Hopefully, the next DLC that was already confirmed by Sea of Thieves devs. Now I'm hoping we'll see From Software's game on the Xbox stage. Then I'll just confirm it's going to be probably on all consoles and not just PlayStation. What else? Definitely Forza Horizon 4. There's no doubt about that. And then other than that, like besides some new like probably Xbox features and a lineup of just indie games like they did last year, I really don't know what they that I can think of they can bring. I mean, probably some new IPs, but
yeah, they've kept it really well under wraps. I think they've done a better job this year than ever. Yeah, okay, the Crackdown 3 thing leaked out, whatever. Some people are speculating that was a little bit of damage control to kind of like soften the blow. I don't know if I agree with that, but it's definitely a worthwhile opinion / theory, because I think that they just want to keep the E3 presser really positive. I think this is a huge wild card. I don't think they really, I don't think anyone can really predict what's going to happen. We know that the Xbox leadership has been, traveling the world trying to track down some, not innovative necessarily, but interesting and creative new intellectual properties to lock down and developers to potentially buy or, employ their services. But, I think this is really a wild card. I think everything you said is probably a safe bet, Assassin. I think we're gonna see we're gonna see a lot on either the next Gears or the next Halo. But if I were to guess, I would say the next Gears is gonna be the safest bet. But other than that, like it's gonna be unless they show like Anthem or other third party stuff, what do they have up their sleeve? I don't really know. But if I were to go ahead.
Unless they do what Sony did a few years ago, which I still hate when they did that, where they, showed just a teaser trailer or whatever, and had like no release date. Like at this point, Microsoft needs that as much as I would hate that, but they need to say like Fable 4, by Playground Games is coming soon, or in development, or Halo Battle Royale or whatever coming soon, to like Master Chief Collection or something. Like,
I think they could excite people with some like out now moments. What if they've been low key been developing this Halo Battle Royale, this Gears Battle Royale game that people are talking about? What if they've low key been developing that and that's available in some sort of preview or beta at this point in time, and they say available right now? I think they could really do well with a moment like that, because people are looking for stuff to play now. People are already speculating online that 2018 is going to be the exact same as 2017 for Microsoft games, and people are talking some real shit, and for good reason. You haven't heard anything. They've been really quiet about it. The reason why people knew Crackdown was in trouble is because they've been super quiet about it. The marketing just hasn't been there. So I think Microsoft needs to surprise in more ways than one. I think they're going to either surprise us by bringing a lot of games and teasing them, like you said, or they're going to surprise us by having a lot of like available now or available next week or available when, at this point, it's going to be like really soon,
Yeah. Fallout 76, it could be on the Xbox stage, but I think Bethesda probably would want to say that for their conference.
Right. I think there may be a little bit of a tease. I mean, we've seen a little bit of a tease already, so I think there may be a little bit of a tease beyond that, and then Bethesda is coming up later on the same day. So I think you're right. I think the meat and potatoes is going to be during their show, because what else are they going to have? Bethesda, like Rage 2. I can't imagine there being much more than that. I mean, we'll get into that in a second because of the next one we're going to talk about. But, we'll see. But Microsoft, I'm not sure. Good.
I can also see now this could be on either stage of Sony's or Xbox's. Dying Light 2 or another game by those developers.
Interesting.
I mean, they've been pumping out, I think, monthly DLC recently. Like, as little as it is, like and, you know, we don't see a game that's like really old by now just randomly start dropping monthly DLC.
Mm-hmm.
And something must be up.
Right. There's been a few developers who have been quiet like that you wonder what's going on.
Yeah.
So
same thing with the people who made the Batman Arkham games. Like, they've been quiet.
Yep, Rocksteady.
For a while now. Like, yeah, Arkham Knight came out many years ago, so it's probably about time their next game's coming out.
Yep. Clowns, get any thoughts really quick on what Microsoft's going to do, what you expect?
Oh, I think that Microsoft is probably going to talk a little about Crackdown 3, where they should just come out, cancel the game, drop the mic, and be like, we're done with this game.
They're not going to cancel E3. Look how bad that would be.
I said cancel Crackdown 3.
Yes, if they cancel it on the E3 stage, we're like, yeah, that game that we've been trying off at E3 for the past few years, yeah, it's canceled. Like, they would get so much.
And we just wanted to let you know some more information about Crackdown 3. Yeah, it's canceled.
And in Mooch's voice, here's why you're wrong, Assassin, and I'll tell you why. Because they did that with Fable Legends. They advertised that game, and then they're like, "Oh, guys,
but they didn't say it on the E3 stage.
We let Lionhead go." Yeah. No, they just need to cancel Crackdown 3, say it on stage, drop the mic, show Forza Horizon 4. They're probably going to show Gears. I'm not really excited for that one. Fable 4 and show some footage of Fable 4. I hope they give us a date. I don't know if they will, but I'm really hoping for some type of date that I could look forward to. I hope that's a massive multiplayer online, as well as have like some sort of RPG story to it. Something really cool. Other than that, I would really like for Phil Spencer to drop us, TMNT, the arcade game, the Simpsons arcade game, X-Men, the arcade game, bring them back, make a deal with Konami. Hell, even buy Konami at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how much they're worth, but just take over those guys and bring back those awesome arcade ports that sold massively well.
That would be incredible. That would be incredible if they could, up-res those a bit, bring those back, and bring it into something that people won't just write off as like retro bit nonsense. I know retro bit games do, certain ones do extremely well, but I feel like those games have such of a cult following. You could have one of those remasters that you can switch between the graphics as you play the game, and that would do really, really well. And that would excite people. And, people are saying, oh, we need more AAAs, we need more new IPs. But I think that would be something that would make them a ton of money. That's not necessarily AAA new IP kind of territory. But nice. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a surprise, I think, from Microsoft. I think if they don't surprise, I think they lost E3. I mean, it's as simple as that. I think if they...
Just remember, keep your expectations in check. Because if you're going in super duper hyped and then they let you down, like it's just gonna be a bad time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The thing is, I don't honestly know what to expect because I don't think there's anything as exciting as the Xbox One X reveal was that Microsoft could show off.
Right.
At this point, I mean, all they can keep doing is talk about their cloud compute, the studios they're working with, maybe studios that they plan to buy or have bought that they could talk about. I don't know, but there's really not a lot from Microsoft that they can do to show the world, hey, Xbox is still strong. The press is never going to view it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they must have some to show if they're, 2 hours long?
Yeah, it's 100 minutes. I think Phil Spencer said recently on Twitter that their latest run through before E3 ended up being 100 minutes. So 1 hour, 40 minutes. I mean, you can't just fill 1 hour and 40 minutes with nonsense. There's got to be
Chris Charla on stage. Actually,
maybe.
Somebody messaged Chris Charla on Twitter saying, please tell me that the length of the E3 showcase for Xbox has nothing to do with the indies. Please don't go on stage, Charla.
Oh, man. Dude, I think he's got to be on there. They've got to have some indies, you know, that they're going to show they're going to be, you know, spectacular. They can't just have a show with all AAAs. You know, I think even Sony's going to have indie stuff, which we'll get to in a second. But
they didn't have indies last year on Sony stage, did they?
No, they did not. They did not, and I don't think they did well last year. I know. I mean, I don't. These people that think that they did well this last year, I don't think they did well last year. I mean, they're gonna. What did they have on stage for indies last year? They had to have had a couple. I think they had like 2 indies last year. I can't think of exactly what, but yeah, I mean, it was very heavily AAA focused. It was very heavily stuff that we'd already seen. I don't think they did that well last year. I think, yeah, I don't think they're going to do that well this year. But we'll get into that in a second because I don't think the showing of 4 game strategy is gonna pay off too well. Like, I don't think 40 minutes for 4 games is gonna be a good spending of their time. But I mean, that's what happens when you're in the lead.
A few surprises. I mean, didn't they say that there would be some third party?
Yes. Yeah, you know, they did. They did. I mean, if you consider, you know, Tetris effect, right? That they...
yeah, but that's not going to be on stage. That was...
Yeah, I think it will.
Road to E3.
Dude, I think it is. I think that's on stage. You know what? Fuck it. Let's go out of order. Let's talk about PlayStation. Let's talk about Sony. I think this Tetris effect is on stage, and I think that they show it off in VR. I think they have somebody on there with PSVR doing it. I think they make a big deal of this thing. I think they're trying to get the Tetris crowd going. I can't believe that this is going to be exclusive.
They didn't say it was exclusive, so is it really an exclusive?
Well, I mean,
like, when they were talking about it, it said it was coming to PlayStation 4 and VR.
Right. So maybe it's PlayStation 4, Oculus. Or maybe it is like, you know, even the Samsung VR and all the other Android VR variants and Google Daydream and all that stuff. Maybe it is all that stuff.
Yeah.
But if it's got a heavy VR component, not coming to Xbox, even though people in our chat think that they are going to show VR on the Xbox stage.
I kind of hope they don't. Like,
yeah, me too.
VR is like cool as some of the things are, like super hot. Like, we don't need it. Like,
right. Yeah, I mean, super hot is awesome. But you can beat super hot in like 11. You can beat super hot in about 11 minutes. So, I mean, yeah, it has some replay value. It has some, you know, time attack, leaderboard beating attributes, but I don't know. But yeah, so that's one of the. Oh, what were we gonna say, Assassin? Good.
That game is what destroys AI. That game right there, that would turn any AI into a psychopath.
Have you played Super Hot? Like, it is really good. Even the non-VR version is pretty good.
Paid you. Did somebody bribe you? Is that a bribe that you took?
I thought Super Hot looked interesting when it was first announced.
You get some Chips Ahoy from your mom, and she said, "Hey, it's a good game, Assassin. Here's some cookies."
I gotta agree with Assassin here. The VR version. I haven't played the non-VR version, but the VR version I think is awesome.
Sounds like a better VR game. Rick and Mortality, I think it's called.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah. I checked that out a little bit of PAX. Yeah, that looked a little weird. But yeah, so Sony is going actually kind of on the later side. So they're gonna be on Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Oh no, 9 p.m. Eastern. Sorry, 6 p.m. Pacific. So what do you expect from Sony? I mean, we already pretty much know. They've pretty much outlined everything. They're going to have a little bit of time for other stuff that they didn't detail, but they said they're going to spend most of their time on Ghost of Tsushima, what else? Spider-Man, Death Stranding, and what was the fourth one? Not Days Gone. Last of Us. I think that was it. So they're going to spend most of their time on those games, and then they're going to mix some other stuff in. So do you think there are any surprises other than those on the stage? You think that there's something... Go ahead.
Like I said earlier on the Xbox one, I think we'll see, you know, I keep on forgetting their developer's name, but people made the Batman games.
Yeah, Rocksteady, yep.
Yeah, and then whatever the Dying Light does are making. Like, I think those will probably be the surprises on that stage if it's not on Xbox. Other than that, I mean, 40 minutes isn't that long, so.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a few third-party announcements. I don't know what. Like, I don't know. What are they going to have that's exclusive that they would want to show on their stage? I don't know. Maybe they like announce that, or show Red Dead on their stage, and, they have the marketing rights, and they show some extensive Red Dead stuff, maybe some gameplay of Red Dead and like a firefight or something, or something like that. I'm sure they've already announced, I guess, they've talked about how they're going to have a few indies on their stage for sure. So that'll be better than last year.
If it's an exclusive and not third party from Software's game, that definitely will probably come out next year. So they should probably start showing that.
Yeah, hyping that up a bit. Yeah, I mean, hopefully, I mean, for Xbox people, you want that on Xbox stage, so that is, multi-plat, and that, they've worked to get those marketing rights from that, because, marketing rights are key still. I think people who downplay marketing rights, I don't think you should go bankrupt over getting marketing rights, but I think they still have some sort of value, especially if the games are excellent or, perceived to be excellent, like Red Dead. Like, I think Red Dead, Microsoft not having that is a huge, huge loss. I think them having Battlefield 5 is a huge win. Like, it goes either way, and then the other games like Borderlands 3 that have been teased, like whose stage is that going to be on? If that's on Microsoft's stage, that would be badass, But who knows? I don't expect a lot of surprises from Sony, but I think they're just going to play it safe because they have the lead. So why not, right? I think, if a PS5 is down the road, like end of 2019 or spring of 2020, I think that they just play it safe for the rest of PS4 era. They have their heavy hitters already out there. Just ride those heavy hitters until the next console comes out. So, Clowns, any thoughts on Sony's conference? You not here?
I think we're going to see more Spider-Man stuff. I think we're going to hear some more about their VR. Their plans of VR is not going away. It's here to stay, and they're going to continue to support it, blah, blah, blah. Other than that, I think we're going to hear from Naughty Dog, maybe a, whatchamacallit, Us 2. What else was I thinking? Bloodborne 2. Maybe a teaser order of 1886.
Bloodborne 2.
Well, Mr. I've been off Twitter hasn't seen what's been leaked a little bit on Twitter, so I won't spoil it for you, Assassin, but it looks like Bloodborne 2 is happening.
You kind of just did, but...
Yeah.
Well,
it's rumored, Assassin.
I guess it's rumored. Yeah, it's rumored.
Yeah, but everyone's like, oh, Bloodborne 2 is coming out, but then they keep on saying the I forget, Shadows Don't Die Twice or something like that. Like, that's Bloodborne 2. Like, no, it already has a name. Like, I don't know.
And you've confirmed Bloodborne 2 is coming out because it already has a name. Is that what you said? That's what I thought I heard.
No, I'm not saying it's confirmed that it's not Bloodborne 2, but why there's no point to have Bloodborne 2. Like,
I think here's why I think you might be a little bit off on this, is that Sony's been hyping up the Bloodborne comic book series. The Bloodborne comic book series goes a little bit off track and talks about the Ancient Ones or something. I can't remember, but I talked about it and wrote about it on Tick. But yeah, there's an off-track story to Bloodborne. So I think that maybe that's what Bloodborne 2 would be focused on if it is happening. But I believe it will be happening because that thing was a major success story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's happening too. I totally forgot about that until you just said it.
If Bloodborne 2 comes out, why are they advertising two games coming from the same people?
Who knows? Maybe we got two full-fledged things. Confusing. Yeah, I mean, I agree, but maybe they've got them. Maybe they've got them.
That studio have been very busy lately, though. I mean, like, what they got Dark Souls Remastered. They did Dark Souls 3 not that long ago. Bloodborne 2 would keep them busy. That Neo game or whatever it's called is not from them as well. I mean, they've been really busy.
No, it's Neo. It's not from them.
No, yeah, Neo's not from them. But
Assassin, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I don't know. I thought Clowns was talking. But yeah, I think that I mean, they've been busy, but not too busy apparently to leak that they're coming out with Bloodborne 2, right? I mean, no, that did not happen, Assassin.
Yeah,
I think we're going to see, and I don't know if this is going to be on Sony side or Microsoft side, but I think we are going to see a Borderlands 3.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. They've got to. I mean, I think they missed the opportunity last year. I thought they were going to have it at PAX, and I think they're going to have it on one of their stages. Hopefully, not to root for one team, but I hope Microsoft can even the playing field with a marketing rights deal like that. The Finest says SOCOM, right? Yeah. SOCOM.
I haven't seen a game like that in a while.
Oh my god, that'd be awesome, man! If Sony announced SOCOM, that'd be incredible. Oh my god, I would buy that on day one. On day one. But yeah, I think that's essentially it for Sony. I don't know if they focus a lot on VR. I bet you I would say they don't. Other than that Tetris thing, and maybe a couple other games, but I don't think they necessarily hang their hat on any VR time. If their conference is like 90 minutes per se, I don't think they'll spend like 10 minutes even on VR. I think that'd be a waste of their time. But then again, they have to sell those units. I mean, they invested heavily into it, so they probably want to give people a reason to buy the thing. So, and I don't think Tetris is it. As much as Assassin fucking loves how that thing looks, I don't think Tetris is the reason people are going to be buying PSVR these days. But okay, so Sony we've knocked out. Bethesda, right? Bethesda's going to be right after Microsoft, actually. Also on Sunday in many regions, but in the U.S. at least, it's going to be on Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And after that one, we'll probably have a short broadcast talking about it, because there are a couple things that I think are a big deal. One is Rage 2. Now, that series has been kind of in the back burner, shelved for a little bit, and now they're coming back with Rage 2, and it looks, by all intents and purposes, pretty friggin' great. They are going to be... What else is Bethesda going to be talking about? Fallout 76. We already mentioned that, and we all agree that's going to be heavily focused on there. But what else are they going to have? What do you guys think? I mean, I don't think they're going to have a new Evil Within or anything like that. They're not going to have anyone... I don't think they're going to have a new Dishonored or anything like that. So I think the only other opportunity really is like Elder Scrolls.
If anything with the Evil Within, we could get like some DLC or some like announcement on that. But I don't really expect much from Bethesda.
Really?
We don't already know about.
Wow, Assassin, you're so down on Bethesda. I mean,
we got Rage 2, we got Fallout. We'll probably talk about maybe their card game, that Elder Scrolls card game, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Elder Scrolls Online stuff, maybe. I don't see there being any more Doom stuff. Like,
get that Inferno, because I think Doom has been very successful. The rebirth of Doom has been a tremendous success. I mean, it even got ported to the Switch, so why not do another Doom and get that ported to everything?
Doom 2, yeah. I mean, that would be a big deal, I think. I think it may be a little too soon, but I think that would be a huge deal, because people love Doom. People loved that Doom. The multiplayer sucked, but the single player was awesome experience. Got people interested back in that franchise. And so I think Doom 2 would be a very, very smart idea.
A Doom 2 Battle Royale.
There you go. Doom 2 Battle Royale. Fallout Battle Royale.
that multiplayer and duo was just so good that we
Dude.
need a battle royale.
Nope, exactly. That's the dude. Your argument against it is the argument for it, because that multiplayer was so terrible. They should just scrap it completely and just build a battle royale from scratch. Just go a totally different direction. You're right, Assassin. Wow, thanks for making my point, bud. Thank you, appreciate that.
No.
But what else? I mean,
I think
go ahead.
we're going to see more ESO stuff. I think on top of the ESO stuff, I think maybe we might see some teasers for like an actual Elder Scrolls or a Skyrim sequel. I mean, they got to have something in the works, right? That franchise has been so successful. They couldn't just abandon it.
Yeah, I would say they have to have some Elder Scrolls. I would agree. I think something's going to be there, and it's going to be a mainland game. It's not going to be just Elder Scrolls Online. I think they've got to bring that back, and I think what else have they done that gen with Elder Scrolls remasters? Like they've got to put out a main Elder Scrolls game this gen. But
Skyrim
Battle Royale, yes, yep.
I don't know though. How's that going to work? Are we going to get to be dragons? Because if I am, I'm going to chew Assassin up with that thing.
Yeah, dude, it's going to be like a couple weeks ago with Fortnite, where you can become Thanos. You're going to be able to pick something up and become a dragon and just wreck people. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see what we see from Bethesda. You know, they usually have a shorter conference, but they usually bring their shit. You know what I mean? They usually have a good one. They usually have an awesome experience afterwards for the attendees. So we'll see. I mean, they've got to have some stuff playable there. I would assume it's not just going to be Rage 2 that's playable, so they've got to have some other stuff. But I think maybe they'll have some like Prey DLC. That's something we haven't mentioned.
Totally forgot that game existed.
Yeah, it's easy to forget, right? It's easy to forget about that one, but some people think that's a very, very underrated game. And you know what? I think they'd be wrong. But it's all right. I mean, there's definitely DLC for that thing planned, obviously, and I think that they are going to talk about it and detail it, and I think it's going to get people excited about it again. But yeah, so that's Bethesda. What else? Just really quick, Square Enix, they already announced Hitman 2, which isn't really Square Enix anymore, but we'll go with it. That's already announced. Sorry to spoil that, Assassin.
I already saw it was by WB.
Yeah, it's by WB, yeah, but it's kind of related to Square Enix, so I thought I'd bring it in there. But not episodic anymore. It's going to be a full-fledged game, and there's going to be a co-op mode that you can actually have access to now. That is like a sniper mode that if you pre-order the game, you actually can access it right this moment. So check that out if you're interested. It's co-op. It looks kind of cool. But I think it could be pretty limited if it's just limited to that sniper mode. I would like there to be like a true co-op Hitman-style game mode in this one, but time will tell. We didn't really see a ton from their announcement, but for real Square Enix, I mean, I don't think there's going to be any real Final Fantasy news. I could be wrong, but people mentioning in the chat, the final says Kingdom Hearts 3. Absolutely. I think there's going to be a lot of Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff. Just Cause 4. I don't know about that, but possible. But what else? I mean, what else could there be from Square Enix? There's got to be some sort of Final Fantasy thing, but what is it? They're going to show that new Tomb Raider game? Is that technically Square Enix still?
Xbox stage.
Yeah, probably.
They might re-show the trailer.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the Final Fantasy VII remake stuff. I don't know. They are having a conference, so they've got to have stuff to show. I mean, Nier Automata DLC or expansions of some sort. I don't know. I don't know.
That could be an announcement that game is coming to the Xbox. I think that was rumored.
Yeah, right.
A month or so ago.
Dude, they didn't even have a conference last year, if I remember correctly. I don't remember Square Enix having an on-stage conference. I could be wrong though.
I don't remember
it. But I mean, maybe some Dragon's Quest stuff. You could probably expect some Dragon's Quest stuff to show up. But other than that, you guys think of anything else?
not on Square Enix. I just remembered we could see on Sony stage, we could see the Call of Duty's Battle Royale. That has not been talked about at all.
Yes, yes,
details.
yes. Yeah, that's got to be on somebody's stage. I mean, they can't just have that just to like on the floor, And Activision doesn't have a presser as far as I know or anything like that. So, so yeah, that's probably going to be on Sony's stage. That's a good point. Michael Monkey Punch 77 Lugo thinks Ninja Gaiden is going to be at the Microsoft stage as an exclusive title. That would be pretty epic. I think that would be one that would be perceived as a win for Microsoft for sure. Yeah, Square Enix. I mean, let's just move on from that because I don't think there's going to be a lot through that on that. How long is that conference going to be? Probably just an hour, I would say. You got Ubisoft. I mean, what is Ubisoft's next? That's Monday morning /afternoon. Like we're gonna see the more Division, right? Division 2, Skull and Bones. Yeah. I'm hoping there's a lot on Skull and Bones. Because we haven't really seen a lot on that.
Yeah, I like some gameplay or with the beta release, time or something.
And you can access the beta right now. Like everyone that goes and rushes, and then everyone goes and rushes for the beta. What else do you guys think? A new Assassin's Creed game? Probably not.
Well, no, there was. They confirmed that.
What?
Assassin's Creed Odyssey or something?
No.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Google it. They said it would be on the E3. There was the rumor a while back of another Splinter Cell.
Yes. Yes, people were thinking Splinter Cell was going to be on Microsoft stage, hopefully. Oh, yeah, you're right. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Holy shit. Wow. So much for not releasing one like every year, huh?
Yep. They took the year off just so all the other games get a year break.
Oh, that's bad. But yeah, Splinter Cell I would say is a definite. Blackbird says Beyond Good and Evil 2. I think that's a definite. And in terms of surprises, I don't really know, man. On Ubisoft stage, no, there's going to be another South Park game. I mean, I think the Tom Clancy game. There's going to be a Rainbow Six Siege 2 at this point. I don't think.
We'll get that lovely dance and probably song for Just Dance.
Just Dance, yes. Yes.
Something that Microsoft just announced. Pre-E3, they decided to announce it. So it's not a leak assassin. It's just E3 information they were going to wait on, but they released it now.
All right. What is it? I don't see it. Hold on. I don't see it. You wake up. What is this? You wake up one morning. What are you referring to here? Just let it out.
Generation Zero.
Generation Zero, I think. They actually showed like a clip of it.
Shit, I don't even see that.
I posted in the Twitter thread and Discord thread.
Okay, Twitter thread as well. I'm gonna have to go to so I don't fuck it up. Oh, ID at Xbox. Okay. Oh, Generation Zero. Look at this thing, huh? Experience an explosive game of cat and mouse set in a vast open world. Okay, that could be cool. Oh, we don't want that to come through the podcast, though. Oh, it's an FPS, huh?
Studios?
I don't know. Generation Zeros. Go check that out. That is live breaking news, we should say. Yeah, so that's obviously going to be on Microsoft stage.
Not necessarily. If they're showing it now, it probably won't be on the stage.
Hopefully not.
They might get like when they show like a bunch of names in the thing for all ID Xbox games. They'll probably have that name up there, but I don't think they'll show the trailer.
Right. It
would just be a waste of time. It's like almost 2 months long.
Yeah. Blackbird says, do you think they'll have some indie exclusives from Microsoft? Well, this Generation Zero's thing. There's one.
I Well, I don't think it'll be exclusive.
Oh, it's
I
not
think.
exclusive. Okay. All right. So I read that wrong.
Well, I don't know. Like at the end, it says follows on Steam, so I have a feeling it's coming to Steam.
Yes. Maybe console exclusive. Who knows?
Maybe.
I don't know. Like, I think there'll be a couple. Who knows what they'll be? I mean, I don't know. I think Microsoft has to play it as they can show indies that are coming. That's fine, but they need to. I think they also need to show, focus more on the AAA stuff that people are yearning for. Like indie exclusives, I don't think people are gonna see that as something great. Like unless it's a Cuphead level kind of thing. Are they gonna show more of Ashen or Below or any of that stuff? I think that'd be kind of stupid to do that at this point. So there are indies that are exclusive that are coming that people know about already, so that they can look forward to those. But in terms of new stuff to look forward to, I think that would be not wise at this point. Maybe a couple, but not nearly as many as they usually show. They had like the Darwin Project last year. They had a lot of them. They talked about 42 new games, whatever, and a ton of them were indies. They had Deep Rock Galactic. That game's awesome, but I mean that's not gonna get people buying Xboxes these days. But yeah. So anything else on Ubisoft, really quick?
No, I don't think there's really much.
Yeah, I don't think there is either. But could be wrong. Splinter Cell, I think, is the safest bet on Ubisoft's side for it's like unannounced stuff. Not considering Division or like Skull and Bones or The Crew 2 or anything like that, or Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Apparently, Ancient Greece, that could be cool. The Egyptian thing must have worked really well for them, sales wise. So, Ancient Greece, that could be really cool. Stickfigure says Cuphead online co-op. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Assassin. Sorry.
Don't get Clown started on the new Assassin's Creed. We'll be here for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Let's wait until after the press and then to get them started. All right. Last but not least, really. I mean, I don't. PC gaming show. It is what it is. We don't really have anything to say about that. I think. I think they're just gonna show all that stuff. That's coming to PC. I mean, from what I've heard, the PC gaming show is not that good. It wasn't last year. I heard a lot of people said it was awful. So we won't get into that too much. So final thing before we get out of here would be Nintendo, which I think a lot of their stuff, the cat's already out of the bag. Obviously they announced those new Pokemon games already, the Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. The Metroid Prime game has already been announced, so they'll probably show more of that. The Mario Tennis game, they'll probably show more of that. A lot of this stuff is already out of the bag, so I'm not really sure what Nintendo could have that would really surprise us, so to speak. Maybe like they'll show the EA games that we'd yawn through. Like Madden and FIFA. They'll show those in more detail, to the point where they're talking about better graphics, better fidelity, closer to the console versions, maybe. Who knows? Daz in the YouTube chat says F-Zero. Yeah, I guess people are thinking there's going to be a new F-Zero game. That could be a surprise. What else? What do you guys think for surprises? Like a Star Fox of some sort? What do you guys think?
Star Fox would be cool, but that's from Nintendo. Like, I don't even know. Mario Battle Royale.
Mario Battle Royale, man. Mario Battle Royale. Some Smash Brothers, obviously. I mean, that's already been announced, so I'm sure they'll probably be playable at E3 if I were to guess. I mean, what else, man? Really, F-Zero, Star Fox. I guess Fortnite is coming to the Switch. Maybe they'll show that off a little bit on stage because everyone loves themselves some Fortnite. They announced today that Paladins was coming to the Switch at a full 60 FPS crossplay with Xbox, so that's pretty cool. But other than that, I don't really know what else there would be. I mean, are they going to announce more DLC for Splatoon? Are they going to have Splatoon Battle Royale? Like, what are they going to do here?
Who knows?
But that's going to be on Tuesday morning, and it's going to be direct style as well. So it's not going to be conference. They're going to still just roll their video like they usually do. And I I guess we'll see. Clowns, what do you think, really quick, before we get out of here on Nintendo?
I don't have really much hope for Nintendo at this point. I think they're going to stick with their core fan base, do the Pokemon stuff, do, all that kiddie stuff. I'm at a loss for words at this point. I'm more excited about the custom firmware announcements than I am the Nintendo showcase.
Yeah. I mean, people are really scorned by that, the lack of the virtual console, pretty much abandonment of the virtual console. I'm sure they'll try to talk up their online service and how cool it is with game rentals, quote unquote, not being game rentals anymore. They were going to be given away. Remember when they would give away retro games for a month and then take them away? Now that they went back on that, they'll probably heavily advertise that as if it's a cool thing. And totally avoid the virtual console debate or topic.
It's just disappointing, though, because, if there's anybody who can get a retro port of an arcade game, it would be Nintendo, and they're just going back on all this retro stuff that they really promised us. They're going to call it something else, bring it out more slowly. It's just not good enough, man. By the time they bring out all the retro stuff that they promised, we'll already be on the Switch, too.
Yeah. Yep. It's like Nintendo, obviously they're making a killing with the Switch, but there's things that your fans have been asking for that would do extremely well on portable console, like the virtual console program. That'd do so well on a handheld, and yet they've got to find a way to just be greedy enough to not bring that there. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable.
My mic's been cutting out, so I'm not sure if you guys said this or not, but I saw Phil Spencer post something on Twitter that Paladins is going to be cross-play between the Switch and Xbox One.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We were just talking about that. That's really cool. I'm definitely going to try that because it's going to be a 60 FPS. I already told my brother we're going to have, because my nephew plays that as well. We're going to have. Maybe we'll go up to my son's place or whatever. We'll have my cousin. We'll have me, my brother, my nephew, all playing in the same room, crossplay. I think that'd be sick.
And I mean that is kind of cool because then the kids can get in on this game, but they don't have to hear the kind of adult conversations that go on on the Xbox. You know what I mean? So I think it's kind of cool. It's a positive step, and if they did the stuff with Fortnite and they did it with PUBG, as Blackbird said, I think it would be fantastic for the Switch.
Shit, I mean, they're running PUBG on stuff, on phones, they've got that PUBG mobile. I feel like PUBG could go on Switch. I mean, I think Nintendo has really, in this generation, proven that they've kind of let off on their stance of not having really, really gory games or whatever. I feel like on the Wii U, there weren't a lot of, mature rated content. That was their knock back in the day on Nintendo, back in the Super Nintendo days when they didn't have blood and Mortal Kombat games and Genesis did stuff like that. And then they kind of went against that on the GameCube. They did have gory games, and then they flipped back and on the Wii U they didn't have a ton of gory games, and they didn't push for Call of Duties and stuff like that. And now, they're pushing full speed ahead on the Switch with stuff like Doom and. They have a lot of mature rated stuff now, and they're adding even more. So I think PUBG would fit really well on the Switch, and having a crossplay. I think that would be a huge boost for them, both PUBG and Fortnite. But yeah, other than that, I don't really know anything on Nintendo that I would expect, quote unquote. But. Nothing would surprise me. I'm expecting surprises from Nintendo, but nothing would surprise me personally. I feel like they could go in any direction and make money. Sadly, it's one of those with the Switch release. It's one of those things where they can kind of do no wrong. I feel like they can kind of do no wrong. This virtual console thing, I think, is the thing that should have pissed off owners the most, and I feel like it's not even made a dent. You know what I mean? It's sad. Blackbird says MKX could go good on the Switch. Yeah, dude. Get some more fighters on there. I agree.
Killer Instinct would do good crossplay.
Yep, Killer Instinct crossplay. Injustice 2, yeah. There's gonna be some. There's this interesting fighter that I played at PAX. It's coming to the Switch. It's coming to everything actually. Man, what is the name of that game? It's called Coffins. It's already out on Steam, but I think they're bringing it to consoles. It's called Coffins, right? Coffence. And it's a fighting game where you fight with like pots of coffee. It sounds stupid. It sounds stupid, but look it up, dude. It was a lot of fun. And literally the whole point, like
Inferno.
No, dude, it is. It's a lot of fun, dude. What you do in the game is you use a cup of coffee as your attack, and like you hit people with it and jab and like uppercut or whatever. And the whole point is to like the health meter is like their cup of coffee. So every time you hit them, they lose a drop of their coffee. Dude, you gotta look it up. You gotta look it up after the podcast. It's really cool. It's really cool.
You know what? I can actually see an assassin playing that game nonstop, day and night.
I'm gonna actually buy you guys a copy of Game Share on Xbox when that thing comes out, so we can stream some Coffins. Remember back in the day we used to get into those like MKX lobbies where we'd have like tournaments and stuff. I think Daz used to do those a bunch. The Twitter community was huge on MKX ladders and fight rooms and all that kind of stuff back in the day. We could get that going for Coffins, right, Assassin?
Sure.
Frono, have you played this game, Coffins, yet?
Yes, I played it at PAX a ton. I'm day one on that. As soon as that comes to Xbox or Switch or whatever, I'm day one on it.
Like, they ripped a background from every single game that's out currently, like it looks like Survival on Mars or whatever that crappy game is that Jez recommended I bought. Looks like a Sea of Thieves background ripoff, a Fortnite background ripoff. I mean, a Friday the 13th background ripoff. Did you compare all these to like the other games out there?
No, I didn't, but I was too focused on not losing my coffee, man. You know what I mean? Too focused on keeping my cup full. But
I'm surprised you didn't recommend like an add-on DLC with beer.
That would be cool. They may do that. Those devs are pretty well. We're gonna try to get them on the podcast. I'm gonna message them to get them on the podcast. I think that would be an awesome interview. They are like French though, so Assassin's gonna complain about not being able to understand them. So I think they're French. They are foreign. Coffins. Sweet Bandit Studios.
Assassin is from Wisconsin, right? So he's close. He's part of Southern Canada, and they do speak French in Quebec. So I mean, he's not that far off from, the French dialect. He could probably pick it up.
Oh, they're in Canada. Yeah, they speak French. They're in Quebec, Canada. Yep. So Assassin.
That's like skating across the pond from him on the Great Lakes over there.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Real quick, couple things really quick from the chat before we get out of here. Blackbird says, do you think Microsoft may hint at VR during the E3 conference? Kind of already talked about that. We kind of think no, that's not going to be a big thing.
I don't think I got a chance on that. I think yes.
Oh,
I think,
sorry about that.
Yeah, I think they're going to allow third-party VR. I don't think it's going to be Microsoft first-party VR. I think they're just going to allow developers of headsets to say, hey, if it works on the Windows 10 PC, let it work on the Xbox One X.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not a bad take. I think that would be smart for them to do that. Don't develop their own hardware. Just, make it happen with third-party hardware and just let, Acers of the world, Lenovo's, let all those people developing those low-cost headsets bring them over to Xbox. I think that would definitely be the smart thing. And they have the ability to do that because not trying to compare them directly, but, I mean, they've let third-party webcams on the Xbox now. Instead of using your Kinect, you can use third-party webcams. So, I mean, there's the ability to use third-party peripherals in that kind of way. So I think that's definitely a possibility. Sobsky says he wants all the VR talk to be at the PC game show. There probably will be a good amount of VR talk at that show, but I don't know if I'll be able to watch that. That was kind of not cringeworthy, but that wasn't that good last year. And really quick before we get out of here, Michael Monkey Punch 77 Lugo says Mario Party at
Nintendo's conference, and I think if they show Mario Party, I will be pitching a tent, if you know what I mean, because I love Mario Party. I know Assassin thinks he can kick my ass in Mario Party, but he is incorrect on that.
Thinks I know.
I think he's wrong on that.
This is coming from a kid that won't even hook the Wii back up.
I know.
Despicable. Downstairs, so the PlayStation took its spot.
Despicable. Oh well, yeah. I mean, that's a good excuse. I will give you that. But all right. Other than that, we gotta get out of here. I gotta go move some stuff because I'm moving in a couple weeks. Finally, thank God. And I'm gonna have incredible internet, so I'll be able to stream a lot more. And who knows? Maybe we'll play some Coffins, and I'll beat the shit out of Assassin with my coffee mug. But probably you gotta check it out. You gotta check it out. After the podcast, Assassin. But you can find us everywhere. If you just search 4 Guys with Quarters, you will find us everywhere on Google. You'll find us YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Our Twitter is actually different. It's 4GwQPodcast. You'll find us there. That's probably where you want to, if you're going to select one of the social networks to follow us on, I would say Twitter, because that's where we're most active, and that's where we make announcements about the podcast and about giveaways and about all other things related to what we're doing. Also follow us individually. Our names have been cycling this entire time under our webcams here. And I think we're gonna talk about changing the format up a little bit, depending on if I can get it to work. In which case, we will be able to support having a guest on every week, so that'd be cool. Other than that, guys, enjoy E3. We'll be probably broadcasting live after the Microsoft one, after EA, probably after Sony as well. But other than that, we'll see. We'll announce that stuff on Twitter. But other than that, we'll see you guys later. Peace.
All right.
Oh, guys.
See you at these.